Today we're going to talk about how I became a personal trainer because I get a lot of questions about what school, how do you run your own business, where should you start, and I wanted to give you guys some advice if you are thinking about entering the health and fitness world and industry that's going to really help you succeed and get the most out of it and grow your clients and feel successful. So before we get in there, I'm going to drop a quick workout so you guys can get a sneak little peek into that. So grab your coffee mugs, get ready, have your questions, drop them down in the comments down below. You can always inbox me or reach me on my social media links on my Twitter, on my Instagram, Facebook to ask more questions. So with that in mind, let's get it poppin'. See you guys. Simple beginners workout, and if you guys want to see more of it, you can click the link down below and you can sign up for custom programming just like this to fit your levels, where you're working out, your goals, your needs, all of that good stuff. What do you guys want to see? I just ran into a trampoline. Okay guys, and we're back, and you might see some cats, and obviously we're in a different place than I recorded my last video. I swear to God, I will have a better light setup, right Barnum? One of the most frequent questions is, how did I become a personal trainer? How did I get introduced? How did I go about making this a career? So first thing I want to say is that this is primarily my journey. Now there are tons of different ways to go about this and tons of different steps that you can take, and I just want to offer a little bit of my experience and answer some questions that you guys might have on how I did it and my career and how I decided to build this into a career. To start off, when I was debating about becoming a personal trainer and it kind of first just like popped in my brain, I was actually at another gym and I had finally taken the leap to work with a personal trainer, and I don't think if it wasn't for them I probably wouldn't have chosen this, and I probably wouldn't have realized like, hey, you can do this with your life and you can make a living with the life and you can help people. So one thing I definitely want to clarify for you guys, that if you are debating about going into the health and fitness industry, is that these things don't happen overnight. And just like any other job or any other business that you want to work for yourself, or you want to build a book, you know, in personal or retail or sales, you have to work hard, especially in the beginning. If you're sitting there and you're kind of like, oh, well, I want to become a personal trainer and I'll make X amount of money in like the first day, I'm gonna keep it realistic with you guys and tell you that it takes a lot of work, and it has its ebbs and flows, just like any other business that you might run or any other job that you might have. A lot of times when people ask me, hey, like I want to become a personal trainer, or an online coach or anything like that, the number one thing I ask them is that, like, is it really something that you're super passionate about? Is it really something that you love and you are willing to work very, very hard to do? That being said, like I said before, I worked with my other trainer, and there was a time in my life, and I can link down below that my blog that talks about this, that I really was struggling to find where my community was. I had just gone sober, so I really had no idea what I was doing. I was feeling good about myself because I had lost a bunch of weight from getting sober, and my sobriety video, if you guys check out 5 years before, I'll also probably make a video about my sobriety journey. But I lost a bunch of weight and I was kind of like needed stuff to do, and I needed a positive community. So working with my trainer and working with multiple trainers, I kind of adapted to the idea like, hey, I could do this. I like to help people. I like to, you know, be creative. I like to learn new things. So the first thing I did was, like most of you guys did, is I started asking questions. And so I just went to people I really trusted and I saw their success and asked them what they did. Once I asked my trainer at the time what her best suggestion was, because I took her opinion very highly, she mentioned to me that I should go through NASM. So NASM is National Academy of Sports and Medicine. It is an online program and it is very, 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 very difficult. Now, if you're in college and you have figured this out, if you're not like me and you figured out what you want to do at a younger age, you can go for kinesiology and you can go into training degrees, and that's perfect, but you do not have to have a college degree to actually become a personal trainer. Does it help? Yes. Could you always go back and do it? Yes. But if you really want to just get started, you can always go with an online certification program. Now, there are a lot of options. There are ACE, there are ISSA, and then there's NASM, and there's a ton of other programs. I went through NASM because I was suggested that. I was told it's a good reference. I do recommend them because you get a good scope of what people learn in 2 years in 6 months. This kind of gives you good base knowledge, right? It's the roots to the tree of the foundation. I went through NASM. I studied my butt off, and everyone in my life can account for that I studied my butt off. Started with CPT, which is a certified personal trainer. That is the base. Any online certification program, you're going to have to get the base of that program to be able to branch off. When I got that, I also learned different ways to have a personal training business. I took what I learned and I applied to about 50 plus places because I didn't have a book. I worked with a few people, but I wanted to build a book. I always recommend building your book and starting in a gym somewhere because it's going to give you experience. It's going to help you grow. It's going to create a book for you. And let's face it, personal training when you first start is probably not the most lucrative career. Like I said before, you have to do a lot of work. So having a boss or an employer that can say, here are some leads, call them, contact them, here are some floor times. Some gyms will pay you for floor times. Where I started, they did not. So I was in the gym from like 6 in the morning to 8 at night, going in, working out, talking to people. Also, a good thing when you start as a trainer is look for front desk opportunities because then you get to meet new members. And when you create their membership for them and you bring them into the gym and you show them, you create that trust that you can already start to build that book, even if they don't want to book with you right away. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of places I didn't get the interview because I was brand new, I didn't have the experience. But if you keep going, you'll find a gym that wants to. And that really is just being yourself and having a positive personality and letting that shine out and how you want to help people. And from there, I started working the floor on my own, talking to people. If you are scared to talk to people, if you have a high social anxiety, I'm going to tell you this right now, personal training is really going to be difficult and take you out of shell. I'm not going to say that you can't do it because I think you can do anything you put your mind to. It's just creating new patterns and it's going to get you out of shell and grow a little bit. I worked at 2 gyms. I did front desk for both gyms. I also offered to teach classes, substitute for classes when someone called out, create new programs and new classes for the schedule that I thought were really cool, and I just gave everything a shot and I committed a lot of time. There was days where literally I was in the gym from like 5:30 in the morning till 9 at night. So that's why I tell you guys, like, if you really want to build it, you really want to make a job out of it, you have to put the time in. Now, 2 years later, I have a designated schedule. I have clients that work around that. But I had to work to get there, right? Now, to go back to my past point, one of the other options you can also do, I do not recommend it myself personally, but hey, if you already have people and you have a wide variety of people that want to work for you, or not work for you, that want to train with you, then, go for a rental space. Different states and different cities have different rates, right? You can go to one studio and it will be X amount of dollars, and you can go to another studio and be X amount of dollars. Preferably look for places that already have equipment, that already have dumbbells and kettlebells and bands, so you don't have to lug that stuff around and you don't have to put more money into your stuff, and you can just pay the X amount of rental. Eventually my 2 gyms combined with another gym, so everybody turned into a rental trainer. It is a lot different. It is handling your own accounts. It is making sure that you are basically running your your own business. There's nobody signing your paycheck. There's nobody else that is, catering and giving you the leads. Like, you are doing it all. I recommend doing that once you have some experience, because it can be a lot. Running your own business can be a lot. It's like if you wanted to start online training, it's the same thing too. You have to make sure that things are organized, make sure your clients are getting the best service, retaining those, getting new people, talking to new members, and developing things like multimedia and lead development and new programs and new classes. But all this stuff I love to do. I love to create. And so personal training, if you love to help people, if you love to connect with people, because some of the best relationships I have and some of the best friendships I have are with my clients. So to sum it up, here are the bullet points, because I know I just gave you guys a lot of stuff. And like I said, you can always go over to my Twitter, you can always go over to my Instagram, or drop in the comments if you have a specific question and I will answer it for you. Figure out your passion. Do you really want to commit and work hard? Is this something that you really want to do? 2, schooling. Either look at your schooling in college or university programs for a BA in kinesiology or a master's in kinesiology. That's always an option. Or go to online certification programs. I recommend NASM, like I said before, and you can definitely check them out, and I'll put the link down below. 3, once you finish school, and I will tell you this, NASM is very difficult. There's a very high percentage that people do not pass their first time in the exam, because it is 2 years of information in 6 months. No notes, time limit, and it is, I can't tell you how many freaking mental breakdowns I had. So if you do that and you don't pass the first time, you can always take it again. It's not the end of the world, and you can still continue to learn. But certifications do things like increase how much you're gonna get paid, hourly if you're on a set budget with your employer. It's going to increase how people view you and your expertise, right? And your knowledge on stuff. 3rd, once you do get schooling done, apply to as many places as possible and look for gyms that offer multiple opportunities. Learn and get as much experience in so many different things, right? So the 3 things I recommend. And then 4th and last, once you get some experience, grow your business. Do online coaching if you want to. Do rental space where you have more opportunity to be in control of your business and the decisions that get made in your business, because it's totally worth it. So those are my pointers. If you guys have more questions, leave them down in the comment below. And of course, if you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know what you want to see. I definitely plan on making more videos like that in the future. Leave a comment down below with a question that you might have in regards to becoming a personal trainer. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you guys can know every time that I post. Give a thumbs up if you like this, or if you have thought about becoming a personal trainer and this helped answer some of your questions. Alright guys, I love you and I will see you later. Bye!